Okay, so brief story. What is this issue all about? See, till now, all the top position in the Central Armed Police Forces, like the DGP of the Central Armed Police Forces, have been people from the IPS. So, hope you know what is Central Armed Police Forces, the paramilitary forces, which also specifically finds a mention in our syllabus chapter of Law and Order. So, paramilitary forces like Assam Rifles, CISF, CRPF, etc. These are the Central Armed Police Forces. So, there is one head of it. Every organization has a head. So, their head is yes, the Director General of CISF, Director General, and so on and so forth. So, the grievance of the CAPF people was that we are not getting appointed to that position. The outsiders, in this case the IPS, are coming and they are becoming the DGP. All the top positions till now across all CAPF organizations were manned by the IPS. And also, if we go down the hierarchy, ADG, DIG, there is also substantial appointments of the IPS officers to this position. So, this was the grievance. So, they went to the Supreme Court. First, they went to the Supreme Court in the 2019. Then Supreme Court gave a judgment, said that that we can now, the CAPF is an organized groupage service. So, this judgment was given in 2019. CAPF is an organized groupage service. Okay, organized groupage, like how groupage services are, for example, IAS, IPS, IRS are called organized groupage service. So, now CAPF is also organized groupage service. Yes, IAS, IPS is also all India services, but they are also groupage services. So, CAPF is now organized groupage. This judgment was given by Supreme Court in 2019. So, the cadre felt now obviously we will be appointed at the top position at the DG and not IPS, that is from outside the organization. But this did not happen. Center continued to appoint the IPS as at the top positions of the paramilitary forces. Then they went again to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court in this year in the month of May gave a judgment that the center should progressively start reducing the appointment of IPS in CAPF over the period of 2 years. So, this judgment was given by the Supreme Court. Center should start progressively reducing the appointment of IPS in the CAPF forces. But what happened? Did center continue? See this news. IPS appointment in CAPF continues despite Supreme Court's order against the move. July 4, 2025. So, still appointment is continuing. Now, this was the story. Now, let's look from the public administration perspective. Okay. So, CAPF versus IPS. Now, already this is this is connected to the Law and Order chapter. Now, we will connect with paper 1. See, why CAPF needs to be appointed at the DG position or at the top position? Many thinkers you can link. First, naturally growth, promotion, etc. is needed. Promotion keeps the person motivated. Now, let's first then now connect with the motivation thinkers, motivation theories. Okay, promotion is one of the motivating factors in organization to keep them productive and efficient, to achieve the 3 E's of public administration as outlined by Woodrow Wilson: economy, efficiency, effectiveness. So, now let's connect first with Maslow. Maslow gave that hierarchy. Okay, let's draw the hierarchy. Set of needs are arranged in the hierarchy: physiological, security, social, self-esteem and self-actualization. They are not getting appointed here. Which need is not getting satisfied? Security, physiological, social or self-esteem. Self-esteem is not getting satisfied. So motivation will come down. Self-esteem means what? Power, achievement, recognition. Where they are getting power, neither they are getting achievement. Top position always IPS. No CAPF. Recognition is also not there. They are not treated as a grade A service in real sense. They are considered as lower to the IPS. IPS comes at DG level. So self-esteem need is not satisfied. This is one you can relate with. Then even you can relate with the next motivation thinker, Herzberg. Herzberg two-factor theory. What are the two factors? Hygiene, CAPF versus IPS. So two factors of motivation, hygiene and motivating factors. So where you will put those? In hygiene factors or motivating factors of motivation? Herzberg. Not getting promotion at the top position. Then yes, of course, not hygiene. Motivating factors are absent. Hygiene factors are external, preventive, not curative, like your position, like pay, salary, environment. Okay. So motivating factors, no self-growth. Then there will be what? No satisfaction, absence of satisfaction. No satisfaction in the armed forces, central armed police forces. No satisfaction. Then absence of job enrichment. Job becomes enlarged. Job enlargement happens, not job enrichment in the paramilitary forces. Because of that, there won't be no growth, no achievement, no recognition. Work itself won't be a motivating factor. So this way, it hampers the morale and motivation of the CISF personals. Okay. Now, another you can also relate with Clayton Adelpher, the ERG theory, which the UPSC asked in the recent times. Existence, ratedness and growth theory. Here also you can relate this non-appointment of CAPF with growth, hampering growth and affecting the motivation. Now if you want to go even further linkages, then you can even link with the process school of motivation, Victor Vroom's valency, instrumentality and expectancy theory. But there you can also justify how this may not necessarily be the motivating factor. That is appointment of the paramilitary forces at top positions. We'll come to this in the after the end of this topic discussion. Also, you can relate with the equity theory, absence of equity in the organization, in the entire government of India organization. There is no equity. We are not getting appointment. Stacey Adams, equity theory of motivation, process school of motivation. Then all the motivation we have linked. Now let's link to the administrative thinkers. Which thinker talked about this incentives, etc. Yes, Taylor talked about incentives, but only economic incentives. You connect this with Barnard, Chester Barnard. How you can connect with Barnard? Chester Barnard, CAPF versus IPS. Chester Barnard talks about 4 types of inducement and 4 types of incentives. So you can connect with one of the inducement. See, 4 types of inducement he talks about. First is material inducement, second is personal non-material inducement, third is the working environment, fourth is ideal benefaction. So this is that inducement which should be promoted in an organization to achieve dynamic efficiency. This is what Bernard said. What is this ideal benefaction? He talks about loyalty to the organization, recognition. So when this inducement is not satisfied of the CAPF, no appointment at the top position. There is absence of ideal benefaction, one of the inducements talked by Bernard, which should be present in an organization. Though people may not remain loyal to the organization, already many people resign joining the CAPF. You check the government data. So there is no loyalty to the organizations, there is no growth, there is no recognition also. So many paramilitary forces also die in operation in the field, but no one of them gets appointed at top level. So absence of Chester Bernard's ideal benefaction. And also, as we talked about, there is absence of equity. So you can connect with one of the 14 principles of Henry Fayol. One of the 14 principles of Henry Fayol is equity. Should be justice in the organization, and of course the theory of justice. So this way, one issue, yes, the process school is remaining. I will come to this. This way, one issue you can connect with so many thinkers. So, but in question, if it comes in paper 1, connect with 1 or 2 thinkers only. Don't write only these thinkers. But question comes on any of these thinkers, any of these theories, then relevance you can show, showing this issue, talking about the CAPF and IPS issue. So in that way, you can connect paper 1 with paper 2 and paper 2 with paper 1 and even the current affairs. One example, many applications. Not it should not be a. This is the right way to think, not the that way that you get hundreds of examples. You try to connect with number of theories. That will create confusion in your mind, and you may not even able to recall which example to write while writing the paper. So one example, many thinkers, and vice versa. You connect with the theories when a question comes in paper 1, and you show this relevance about inducement, etc. You can talk about this. Also, you can also relate with the human relation theory, of Elton Mayo. How you can connect this? See, one of the Hawthorne experiments, the relay assembly test room, found the linkages between what? Morale, style of supervision, and productivity. Morale comes down of CAPF. Style of supervision is strict, like no appointment, kind of Taylorism. Then productivity of that organization will gradually come down. So this way you can justify why CAPF should be appointed in IPS. Now let's look at the other side, why IPS appointment should continue, and of course from public administration perspective as well. This is the CAPF side. Now let's look into the IPS side. Now see, IPS, their perspective is that, see, the CAPF people who are qualified as assistant commandant, etc., they already had a chance to get into the IPS. No one had stopped them. You choose that services, then why we should be punished? Even after selection, you can give this examination UPSC. Eligibility is a bit higher age-wise, I feel, for the CSE as compared to the paramilitary forces. No one stopped you from giving this examination. And also, the IPS says that we man the law and order throughout the country. So we have a more broader picture, broader view of law and order. So even the top positions, even if say DG of say CRPF, may need a lot of experience, or DG of NSG, etc. So this all experience, IPS have a very broader experience working in different parts of the states. And further, they say that what about our parity with IS? IS is also all India. We are also all India. IS has many avenues for central deputation, be it in the various secretaries, assistant secretary, etc. in various ministries. But IPS as a service has few avenues for central deputation. These all forces and some other institution like the CBI, etc. But very few. So why then there also motivation morale will come down. Many people give IPS as first preferences. May they have an aspiration to be part of the paramilitary forces. So people may not come to IPS. Also, they say that IPS vacancies are increased every year. Now have been increased. Before they were 150, now more or less 200 comes every year. So you can give this examination. So that is their perspective, and also you can relate with the generalist versus specialist debate. So this way, that's this side also you can say, and that way you can connect with the motivation thinkers as we connected from the CAPF perspective. So when question comes from this perspective, IPS justify IPS appointment in CAPF or government stand, then you write this way and connect with motivation thinkers. Now, we were talking about the process school of motivation thinkers. So how we can negate this CAPF also? CAPF stand through this thinker and justify IPS appointment. See, Victor Vroom's valency, instrumentality and expectancy theory. He talks about there is interlinkages. There is no motivation depends on individual satisfaction and individual rewards. So I will just draw down that. So he gives the relationship between effort, performance, reward, satisfaction, So this is how he talks about motivation. You put effort, it will depend upon their expectancy, what you perceivedness of that effort, whether you have skills, etc. Then to result in performance. One performance will be instrumental to other performance in achieving reward. That reward will ensure satisfaction, and valency will be valued reward, kind of feedback to efforts. So what you can justify, how you can justify the IPS move? The IPS stand. See, already we discussed that you had already an opportunity to get into the IPS services. So you had put effort, maybe you attempted, you didn't clear. So already you effort you have, and then you put effort in the paramilitary exam. You performed well in that, you got selected as paramilitary personnel. So reward is there, and maybe many people would be satisfied also. At least I have got selected in the paramilitary forces. So there may be individualized satisfaction for some. That we individualize satisfaction, and we are happy with it. So we are part of the organization. Whatever hierarchy we can climb, we'll climb. So that is individualized satisfaction. One set of paramilitary forces will be those. Be satisfied. We are satisfied with whatever we want. So this is how the Victor Vroom talks about individualized satisfaction. So we are satisfied with whatever we want. So that's why it's in a way justice also. If you look at it that way. Equity is there, you have had a chance to clear the IPS examination, but unfortunately, or you didn't want to give, then you didn't clear, then you joined this, and there is individualized reward, you are in the paramilitary forces. So that way it is connect what mold your content, your style of thinking according to the question. So this way you can connect the CAPF with IPS versus IPS issue with number of thinkers, and it is specifically also mentioned in a syllabus, that is The paramilitary forces component is mentioned in the Law and Order chapter of paper 2. So this way you connect this issue. Now let's move to the second issue of discussion, that is the Bharat Nyaya Sanhita